Ugh! Screeched Norbert the Nutjob, seeing his guide to America lost and his journey going up in smoke. Get him out, they'll kill him! But the crew could not open the hatch. Somebody had lost the key and had to run off and find it. Frantically, Kamikaze and Fishlegs and Norbert pulled at the bars and tried to squint down to see what was happening. There was a horrible noise of shouting and screaming going on down there in the darkness. What was happening to Hiccup? Hiccup fell down into the blackness of the hold, landing on the wood with the carrots and the bread and the cabbages the wanderers were starting to eat. There was a shocked silence for a moment. Then came a roar of rage. It's a Viking! Yelled one big wanderer, shaking his chains into fury. Kill him! Shrieked Bear Cub's grandmother, showing her sharp pointy teeth and seizing Hiccup by the leg. Crush him to death! She made a growling noise like a wolf. It's quite a small Viking, said the big wanderer, more uncertainly as he grabbed hold of Hiccup and he paused his raised hand. Hiccup knew that all wandering peoples could speak Dragonese as well as they spoke their mother tongue. So he spoke to them directly in the Dragonese language. Please don't kill me. This is unlike Vikings, who had mostly lost the art of speaking with serpents. There was a moment's astonished silence. It's a Viking that speaks Dragonese, said Bear Cub's grandmother in amazement. Please don't kill me, breathed Hiccup. Why should we not kill you? Asked Bear Cub's grandmother in a dreadful, angry voice, her eyes as wide and staring and hypnotic as those of a king cobra. Your people have killed my people for as long as my people can remember. They have robbed us and cheated us and sold us into slavery. All of history is against you, Viking. Why should we not kill you? Hiccup had never met a wanderer before, and she was an awful sight, her hair all askew, like a bundle of hay, and those terrible grim and gloomy eyes always staring into the far distance as if she just spotted something terrifying. She shook Hiccup by the neck in one of her skinny hands. You are a Viking, and all Vikings are vermin, wicked and brutish enslavers of dragons and humans. You may be young, but you should be killed now before you grow into a rat or a fox, she said, her voice shaking with fury. Her long fingernails dug scratches into Hiccup, and he was petrified she was going to strangle him. We're not all like that, protested Hiccup. When Hiccup fell down the hatch, his helmet had fallen off, and it was lying on the wooden floor beside him. Little Bear Cub had been staring fixedly at Hiccup's bared head, and now he puffed up, pointing at Hiccup's hair. Look, grandmother, he hasn't got any horns. What do you mean? Snapped Bear Cub's grandmother. You said the Vikings were devils that had horns growing on their heads, which is why their helmets were a funny shape, said Bear Cub. But look, this one doesn't. Snorted Bear Cub's grandmother, feeling through Hiccup's shaggy red hair. Perhaps they are too small to see yet. Trust me, they're there. There are a few lumps and bumps here that could easily grow into horns. If you don't kill me, pleaded Hiccup desperately, I will help you. Bear Cub's grandmother gave a bitter laugh and shook her chains. Nobody can help us, she said in Dragonese, opening up her gloomy eyes. We are doomed. We are all doomed. For I have put a curse on this ship. Yes, I heard, said Hiccup nervously, thinking, well, not a fruitcake, but we are travelling north, where your people come from, and when we get closer to your country, I will help you to escape. There was a moment's silence, and then the listening wanderers broke out into a chatter of excitement. Bear Cub's grandmother was more sceptical. How can you do that? She spat in disbelief. You are far too small. I will find a way, said Hiccup. I'm pretty sure I will anyway. I've done this sort of thing before. There was a long, long silence. Everyone looked at Bear Cub's grandmother. She was staring at Hiccup, boring into him with her eyes as if a tiny hope was struggling with a lifetime's bitter experience. You are a Viking, she said at last. I think you are saying this so that we will let you go, and you will climb back to freedom and then forget about us. She jerked her head up at the hatch above, which the Vikings were still banging and clanging in their desperate attempts to open. I give you my promise, said Hiccup. A Viking's promise is worth nothing, spat Bear Cub's grandmother. She looked at him thoughtfully. What is your name, Viking? She asked. Hiccup Brandis Hallet III, replied Hiccup. I am the son of Chief Stoic the Vast of the Hooligan tribe. Viking royalty, said Bear Cub's grandmother sarcastically, but Hiccup had made a pause and she was thinking hard. How interesting. We are honoured indeed. King rat, king fox. Ooh. Her eye caught a long, sinister-looking metal tool leaning against one of the beams that propped up the ceiling of the hold. It ended in the shape of an S, and it was dipped in a dark blue ink. Okay then, Viking, said Bear Cub's grandmother, you've got yourself a deal, but it will come at a price. In return, I will give you the slave mark. Hold him fast, Willowfang, and, oh gosh, the slave mark is this is the slave mark. That's the mark there. And Lone Fox, no, screamed Hiccup, struggling frantically. The slave mark is easy to give, said Bearcub's grandmother, slowly approaching him with a pointed stick, but impossible to remove. She pointed bitterly at the blue mark on her hand. Take off his helmet, Bearcub's grandmother ordered Wildfoot, laying a loose Lone Fox. And then he can hide it from those devil Vikings up there. We do not want them to suspect that he has an understanding with us. So Bearcub's grandmother put the mark on the side of Hiccup's head, some way above his left ear. 1 second later, and the slave mark was there, a livid blue mark that would stay forever, a bit like a tattoo. You will not be able to forget us now, said Bearcub's grandmother, with gloomy satisfaction. The hatch above Hiccup's head finally burst open, and a great shaft of light poured into the dark room. Norbert the Nutjaw's furious, red, screaming face appeared in this space. If you've touched a hair on his head, I'll feed the lot of you to the lobsters, he roared. Climb up quick there, boy. Root flopped down into the hole. Swear by this mark that you will help us escape, or we will not let you go, hissed Bearcub's grandmother. I swear, gasped Hiccup, nearly crying, and then he put both hands upon the rope and was hauled up through the hatch. You see, grandmother, said Bearcub excitedly, we are not doomed after all. I asked for someone to rescue us, and he has. Oh, that's sweet. You are not rescued yet, said his grandmother sternly. The hatch clanked shut, and they were left in darkness again. Now wipe your nose, came the voice of Bearcub's grandmother in the darkness. It's a running race, Jacoby. But look, little Bearcub is saying we're safe. Next chapter.